Hello, I'm Nikki Newman. This is my official YouTube channel. Please subscribe and support us.
Young and the Restless spoilers. Welcome back to our channel. Guys, today is a beautiful day to dive into some absolutely crazy soap drama. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about the latest bombshells dropping in Genoa City because my head is still spinning from these leaks. We have so much to unpack today, so let's just get right into the madness. And let's just jump right into it because honestly, I have been staring at my screen for hours trying to process what the writers are actually doing with Y&R Cane right now. So we all know there has been a massive amount of tension between these two exes lately. I mean, how could there not be, but suddenly, out of nowhere, Cane is softening up. Like, he sees Lily looking completely wrecked at the GCAC and suddenly he's not the angry, vengeful guy who just got his AI stolen by Phyllis. He's just concerned, and it's weird, really weird. But also kind of classic Cane, right? He always had this weak spot for Lily even when they were literally at each other's throats. So he starts asking questions. He can tell she is carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out that her distress has something to do with Malcom Winters being back in town. Cane puts two and two together and realizes that Lily's biological dad must be seriously sick. Which, of course, he is. Malcom has aplastic anemia. It's a rare blood disorder. It's terrifying, and it requires a bone marrow transplant to save his life. And Lily is just crumbling under the pressure of keeping this secret and trying to save the man who gave her life. But here is the absolutely gut-wrenching part. Lily is not a match. She got tested, she had all this hope, and it completely blew up in her face. You can just imagine the devastation. I mean, we've been watching Lily go through the ringer lately with the whole fake kidnapping thing and the corporate chaos, and now this. It's just too much. She thought she could be the hero. She thought she could just donate her marrow and fix everything and send Malcom on his merry way. But no, the universe, or rather the writers of this show, said absolutely not. So then the focus shifts to Holden Novak. Holden, the guy who just had his entire world turned upside down when Stephanie Simmons finally confessed that Malcom is his real dad. A 30-year-old secret just dumped on his lap. And honestly, you would think that this is the perfect soap opera setup. The secret, long-lost son swoops in, finds out his paternity, gets tested, and magically saves his dying father. It's the classic redemption arc. It's exactly what we all expected to happen. But nope, based on the test results from that April 10th episode, Holden is not a match either. He cannot help Malcom. And guys, we have to talk about why he isn't a match, because this is where the story gets so messy and so incredibly dark that I actually had to pause my TV and take a walk. Holden didn't just naturally fail to match his father. The test was tampered with, and who tampered with it? Audra Charles. Yes, Audra. Let's be real for a second. What is her actual problem? She saw Holden at Society, looking completely stressed out about this massive paternity bomb. She tried to approach him, probably looking for some gossip or just trying to insert herself into his drama. Holden brushed her off because he was dealing with an existential crisis. And then he turns around and confides in Claire Newman instead. Claire, of all people. And Audra, being the petty, jealous, spiteful person that she is right now, decided to literally commit a felony just to get back at him. She sneaks around, somehow bypasses hospital security, which, let's be honest, Genoa City Memorial has the worst security on the planet, and she alters Holden's bone marrow test results to make it look like he isn't a match. Just out of pure spite, she doesn't even know that Malcom is dying. She just wanted to ruin Holden's day because he chose to talk to Claire instead of her. It is so unhinged. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh, but altering medical records that could literally mean life or death just because a guy didn't want to vent to you, that is supervillain behavior. So now Holden thinks he can't save his dad. Lily is completely out of options, and Malcom's clock is ticking. And Lily, being the desperate daughter, is now planning to get the twins tested. Maddie and Charlie, remember them. It feels like forever since we've really focused on the twins, but Lily is grasping at straws here. She's going to bring them in, get them swabbed, and pray for a miracle. And this is exactly the moment where Cane gets fully brought into the loop. Because if Lily is testing his kids, he has a right to know what is going on. And this is where the spoilers are pointing to a massive, massive twist. If the twins aren't a match, and let's face it, they probably won't be, because that would be too easy, and this show loves to drag out medical storylines for months. Malcom is going to have to start looking for unrelated donors. He's going to need a stranger, or maybe not a stranger. The leaks are heavily suggesting that Cane Ashby himself might step up to the plate. Wait, what? Yeah, you heard me, Cane. There is a huge rumor floating around that Cane might get tested and actually be a match for Malcom. And I know what you guys are thinking. How does that make any genetic sense? Cane is from Australia. He has zero blood relation to the Winters family, and the chances of an unrelated person being a perfect bone marrow match are astronomically low. Usually, they look for someone of the same ethnic background. It's a very specific, very difficult process in the real world. But this is the Young and the Restless. Let's not pretend they care about actual medical science. In Soap Land, the person who is the match is always the person who creates the most dramatic tension. Always. And who would create more dramatic tension right now than Cane Ashby? The man who has been at war with Lily. The man who is currently plotting against Victor Newman. The man who Malcom absolutely despises. Think about the irony here. Malcom hates Cane. He has always had issues with Cane. Recently, Malcom practically threatened Cane to stay away from his family. He doesn't trust him, he doesn't like him, and he certainly doesn't want him anywhere near Lily. And now, the universe might just force Malcom to accept life-saving bone marrow from the very guy he wants to destroy. It is poetic justice in the most twisted soap opera way possible. And honestly, Cane needs a win right now. He has been spiraling. Phyllis literally drugged him and stole his AI program to execute a hostile takeover of Newman Enterprises. She renamed it Summers Conglomerate and left Cane in the dust. He is angry, he is bitter, and he is currently trying to recruit Holden Yes, Malcom's secret son, into some dangerous revenge plot against Victor. Cane is walking down a very dark path right now. But if he suddenly becomes the savior, if he is the one who steps up and literally gives a piece of his own body to save Lily's father, that changes everything. It would force Cane to put aside all his lingering anger over Lily's fake kidnapping stunt. Remember that, when Lily faked being kidnapped by Victor and put everyone through hell. Cane was furious. But seeing Lily this vulnerable, this broken over her father's illness, it's clearly doing something to him. He's softening. He's remembering the woman he loved, the mother of his children. And if he can save her dad, he's going to do it. Not just to be a good guy, but because, let's be real, Cane always has an angle. The April teasers specifically said that Cane is going to find a way to prove his manhood to Lily, prove his manhood. What a weird phrase, right? But what proves you're worth more than saving the patriarch of her family? He wants her back. It is so obvious. He has never really gotten over Lily. Even when he was hooking up with Phyllis or doing whatever shady corporate stuff he does, it always comes back to Lily. But wait, there is another theory. What if Cane isn't the actual physical match? What if the twist is that Cane uses his massive wealth and his remaining connections to launch a massive, global search for a donor? He could literally throw millions of dollars at this problem. He could set up drives. He could call in favors. He could force everyone he knows to get tested. And there is this wild rumor that maybe someone like Amanda Sinclair ends up being the match. Amanda, now that would be a blast from the past. Why Amanda? Well, she has ties to the family. She has a complicated history. And bringing her back into the fold to save Malcom would be a huge emotional beat. But honestly, the most likely outcome, the one that screams soap opera drama, is that Cane himself is the match. It just forces too many characters into uncomfortable positions not to do it. And we really need to talk about Malcom for a second. Because if Cane saves Malcom, we have a massive problem. Or rather, Malcom has a massive problem. Because you guys, Malcom is not the good guy here. We know the truth. The fans know what is really going on even if Lily and Cane don't. Malcom didn't come back to Genoa City just to reconnect with his family before he dies. He didn't come back to be a loving father to Holden. Malcom is evil, like completely, psychopathically evil. The only reason he cares about Holden at all is because he wants to murder him and harvest his organs. Yes. It sounds insane saying it out loud, but that is the actual plot. Malcom wants to use his own biological son for spare parts. He has been plotting this in New York. He is a monster. So just imagine this scenario. Malcom is lying in a hospital bed, secretly fuming because Holden's test came back negative thanks to Otter's tampering, meaning his plan to harvest Holden's organs is currently ruined. He is panicking. He thinks he is going to die because he can't use his son. And then in walks Cane Ashby, the guy he told to back off, the guy he hates. And Cane rolls up his sleeve and says, "I'm your match. I'm going to save your life." It completely destroys Malcolm's excuse to kill Holden. If Cane cures his aplastic anemia, Malcom has no medical reason to harvest Holden's organs. His entire dark, twisted murder plot gets derailed by his least favorite person in Genoa City. It is brilliant. It is hilarious in a really dark, messed up way. Malcom will be forced to be grateful to Cane, all while secretly seething that his murder plot was foiled by a random act of genetic luck. And then there is Summer Newman. We know Summer is on her way back to Genoa City. She is returning specifically because she knows the truth about Malcom. She knows he wants to kill Holden. She is coming back to expose him. So the timeline here is going to be absolute chaos. Cane is trying to save Malcom's life to win Lily back. Lily is falling back in love with Cane because he's being a hero. Holden is bonding with Cane because Cane is saving his new dad. And then Summer is going to kick the doors down and scream, "He wants to harvest your organs." What is Lily going to do when she finds out? She is pouring her heart and soul into saving this man. She is looking at Cane like he is her knight in shining armor. She is probably going to sleep with him. Let's be honest. They always end up back in bed together when emotions run high. Lily is going to think her family is finally healing. And then she is going to find out that the man they just saved is a literal psychopath who wanted to chop up her newly discovered half-brother. Honestly, I feel so bad for Lily. She just cannot catch a break. She is constantly surrounded by men who are keeping massive secrets. First Victor with the fake kidnapping, then Cane with his corporate espionage, and now her own father wanting to commit murder. It makes you wonder how much more she can take before she completely snaps. And what about Cane if he saves Malcom and then finds out Malcom is a monster? Is he going to regret it? Probably not, because Cane's main goal is just getting Lily back. If saving a psychopath gets him back into Lily's good graces, Cane will probably count it as a win. That's just how his mind works. He is an opportunist. He is sitting at that table at the GCAC right now, listening to Holden pour his heart out, listening to Lily stress over the medical tests, and he is calculating his next move. He is looking at Lily and thinking, this is my way back in. He is going to push for those twins to be tested. And when they fail, he is going to step up. He is going to play the hero. And you know what? The fans are going to be so divided on this. Half the internet is already screaming that they are tired of the Lane roller coaster. They break up, they fight, they do horrible things to each other. And then some tragedy happens and they trauma bond their way back into a relationship. It is an endless cycle. But the other half loves it. They love the angst. They love Cane looking at Lily with those puppy dog eyes, promising to fix everything. And honestly, I kind of get it. When Cane actually tries to be a good guy, he is really convincing. It's just that he always ruins it eventually by doing something stupid or illegal. But right now, in this moment, he has the chance to do something genuinely selfless. Assuming he doesn't have an ulterior motive we don't know about yet, let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. This whole storyline is perfectly weaving together so many different threads. You have the medical drama with the aplastic anemia. You have the paternity secret with Stephanie and Holden. You have the corporate fallout with Phyllis and Kane's AI. And you have the impending horror thriller with Malcom's organ harvesting plot. It is a lot. It is almost too much for one family to handle. Devin is going to lose his mind. He already doesn't like Malcom being back. He already doesn't trust Holden. Imagine Devin's reaction when Cane, the guy who has caused so much trouble for Chancellor in the past, ends up being the savior. Devin is going to be so suspicious. He is going to think Cane rigged the tests or paid someone off. Because nobody in this town trusts anyone anymore, and frankly, they shouldn't. I mean, look at what Audra just did. She rigged a medical test because she was jealous of a hug. If Audra can do that, why wouldn't Devin suspect Cane of doing something similar? The trust in Genoa City is completely broken. And it all stems from these massive, unforgivable lies that everyone keeps telling each other. But at the end of the day, Lily is just a daughter who wants her dad to live. She is terrified. She is exhausted. And when Cane looks at her and says, "I've got this. I'm a match. I'm going to save him," she is going to melt. All the anger over the fake kidnapping, all the resentment over his corporate schemes, it's all going to wash away in a flood of gratitude. She is going to be so incredibly grateful. And Cane is going to bask in that gratitude. He is going to use it to rebuild his life. He lost his company, he lost his AI, he lost his dignity to Phyllis. But if he gets Lily back, he wins. In his mind, that is the ultimate victory. But man, I just keep coming back to Malcom. I cannot wait to see the look on his face. The absolute disgust and fury hidden behind a fake smile of gratitude. He is going to have to hug Cane. He is going to have to thank him publicly. Meanwhile, inside, he is screaming because his plan to murder Holden is ruined. It is going to be Emmy-worthy acting. I am calling it right now. And what happens when Summer arrives? Does she stop the transplant? Does she wait until after Malcom is cured to expose him? Because if she stops the transplant, Malcom dies. Which, considering he's a murderer, maybe isn't a bad thing. But Lily would never forgive Summer if she let Malcom die. The moral dilemmas here are just off the charts. What are the writers thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well for anyone? Nobody. It is going to be a bloodbath of emotions. And I am here for every single messy, chaotic second of it. I just hope Lily survives the fallout. Because when she realizes that her dad is a monster and the men she loves only saved him to get her back, she might just pack her bags and leave Genoa City for good. And honestly, I wouldn't even blame her. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. This show is firing on all cylinders right now and the drama is just non-stop. We have to keep watching to see if Cane actually goes through with the test, if the twins fail, and if Audra's tampering gets exposed before it's too late. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Will Lily and Cane reunite? Does Cane actually have a heart, or is this all a manipulation? I need to know your thoughts because I am officially obsessed with this mess.